Good morning all. I think it's around 5 a.m. You see the moon hanging around in the sky there. A little bit of colour on the horizon. And a lot of dead trees. Basically, I got here last night in the pitch black, and I knew I was in a burn area and it was a pretty stupid thing to camp, but I did it anyway. There was a large creature outside my tent last night, just before I went to sleep. I could hear it walking around, and I could hear a noise as well, like I'm going to call it a snuffling noise. I've got nothing else to call it. It was probably a deer, I guess, but didn't see it. At that point, all I could have seen, if it walked past the tent, was a shape. So, yeah. Anyway, it's getting a bit breezy. Well, I was just in the middle of packing up. You might be able to make out the tent just sticking out here behind this tree, this dead tree just down there. It looks really far off. It isn't really. But you can see the kind of terrain I was camped in. And you can see why it was a little bit silly, to say the least. I could hear a few branches dropping off trees last night, and then this morning I've seen and heard quite a lot of the dead bark dropping off the trees. And with the wind, there's every possibility that one of these could blow over quite easily because they're all burnt, charred and dead. So, silly Paul. But I just stopped. I was in the middle of packing up and I had to stop and kind of run up here. It's the clearest view I can get of it, but the sunrise this morning is absolutely stunning. The colours in the sky are just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I haven't seen one this nice on this trip yet, I don't think. I might just leave the camera here on a time lapse while I pack up, just to try and capture some of it, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It's just I mean, I'm sorry I can't get a clear picture of it. I can't get any more height to get over the trees, but you can see such beautiful colours in those clouds. So nice. Well, this is one of the nicest mornings I've seen on trail for a long time, and it's not even like the normal weather. It's a really cold wind and it's quite strong as well. There's a lot of cloud in the sky, a heck of a lot of cloud. It's making for some really, really nice pictures. If you haven't seen my Instagram stuff, it's a lot more up to date than my YouTube videos are. So you can maybe stay up to date a little bit easier on there with where I am and how I'm getting on. And I don't put videos on Instagram anymore because it's taking up too much space on my phone. But I do try and put up a good assortment of photos from each day. And it's exactly the same channel name as my YouTube is. It's just Paul Anderpack. So if you haven't seen that, head on over and have a look. And there's usually a little description of what's happened during the day as well. It's about 6:15 now, so I'm leaving camp just a tiny bit later than normal. It took me an absolute age to pack up this morning. I'm hoping today that might have a little celebration. One, because it's day 100 on trail for me, and two, because I'm hoping to be able to reach the midpoint today of the PCT. Can't believe I forgot to mention this last night either, but it was maybe about 9:15 and I was doing the last tiny little bit of the climb, coming through a forest, up a little trail, and I just looked up and there was a deer going full throttle down the trail directly towards me. It was just like absolutely pelting it down the trail. Had a big set of antlers on it as well. And it just kept coming at me, and it got to within maybe, I would say 30 or 40 feet. And it just decided, it must have spotted me at the last minute, and it decided like, no, can't go that way. And it just took like a really sharp and fast right-hand turn and went running off down the bank. But for a minute, I thought I was about to get skewered by this deer. I mean, it was absolutely moving as well. Those things are so fast when they get speed built up. But yeah, it was really nice to see actually. I've not seen one doing that before, coming like running straight at me. It was quite a novelty. Yeah, enjoyed that last night. A nice little encounter. Well, I've just gone absolutely flying over a downed log. Just, I don't know, there was like a downed trunk and then there was something before it, and I just misjudged it, caught myself on the thing before it, and then went flying over the downed trunk. Oh, jeez. Landed kind of badly. If anyone's seen that Family Guy episode where I think Peter like hurts his knee or something and he sits there for about 5 minutes just going, oh, ah. That's exactly what I've just done. Oh man. I'm hoping it's just like like the shock and the sting when you do something and it's going to wear off. Try and keep walking so it doesn't have a chance of seizing up. There's a bit of blood. Oh dear. Oh jeez. Need to pay more attention. I've got one more thing to watch out for now. Just been walking down towards some trees behind me, and the wind is actually pretty strong, and I saw some bark being whipped off the trees by the wind, some of the charred bark, and there were pretty big pieces as well, and they just came flying down quite a ways actually. So definitely going to have to keep an eye out for that while this wind is kicking about. You may not be able to tell because of the gimbal on the camera, but I'm actually limping quite badly at the moment because of that fall. This is so strange. I've been walking through this kind of thing for the last few miles, and is just a really strange experience. It's like walking through a forest of bones, almost. I mean, it's natural, but it feels completely unnatural, if you know what I mean. So at long last, get a nice clear view of Mount Lassen in the distance. It's definitely getting closer. It's about 9:15 and I'm at mile 1309.4. Apparently it's just shy of the high point in Butte County. There's a little sign saying that the high point is just 0.2 miles up that direction. But I am going down here. Just on top of this rock, there's the head of an old pick. And then this, which I assume is maybe is that a gold pan for panning? I assume it's got bullet holes in it by the looks of it, but just sat on top of the rock. Someone's obviously found it and thought, I'll make a feature of that. Quite cool, actually. Well, there's been a dramatic change in the last couple of minutes, coming out of the forest and coming out onto this volcanic rock. Very barren looking, and the sky is very moody looking as well, with all this cloud. It has actually rained a couple of times. I mean, I wouldn't really call it rain. It was more like 5 or 10 minutes of like light drizzle, but it was still wet stuff falling from the sky, which hasn't happened for a while now. So that was a bit of a novelty. Could have done with some of that going up that climb yesterday afternoon. That would have been really nice. Well, that's a pretty sweet looking tent site, isn't it? Not bad at all. Right folks, this is Little Cub Spring, mile 1317.3. Well, it's actually off of mile 1317.3 because I've had to come a third of a mile down a steep hill to get to it. But the next water on trail is 12 miles and I didn't have enough to make it there. So I came down here. Whilst I was down here, I thought I might as well take advantage of stopping, and I've literally just been sat here next to this tree having my lunch. I even made myself a coffee, which is something I haven't done at lunchtime. I think I've maybe done it once in the desert, possibly. But yeah, I just want to see if it makes much of a difference to how I perform this afternoon. It's about 2:30. It's got out warm again. But I think when I get to the halfway, I'm going to try and make it to the halfway point without stopping from here. And when I get there, I'll take a little break, take a couple more painkillers because my calf is not happy. and then we'll carry on. Try and get a few more miles in before close of play this evening. Well. Very well done, guys. We just made it to the midpoint of the PCT. There was a couple of other hikers there. I don't want to start filming in front of them. It's not like the done thing in my eyes. So let them enjoy their midpoint celebrations or quiet sit down, whatever they want to do. I got a few photos. I got a little bit of me walking past it, so I'm quite happy. But I do just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for coming along on the journey so far and interacting with the videos and watching them, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that. It's an absolute pleasure, I think I've said before, to share the journey with you. And I probably wouldn't be here without all the help and support from you guys and the nice comments egging me on and encouraging me. So thank you very much. I do mean that. It's greatly appreciated. If you do want to support the channel, the best way, or a very good way to support the channel, is to just watch the ads. I know they're a pain in the behind, but if you do that, it really, really does help the channel out big time, and it helps me out big time. And then if you interact with the videos as well, that's also a great way of supporting the channel and supporting me. And hopefully it'll get the videos pushed out to a few more people through the amazing YouTube algorithm. So shameless plug over. Thank you very much, guys, from the bottom of my heart. I've just had a couple of painkillers. My leg is feeling slightly better. I think I've got roughly 5 miles to the next water source, and I've got 700 ml of water left, so I'm just going to have to take it easy on that. And then after that, it's about another 5 miles to a road where you can hitch into Chester. Unless something happens between now and then, I won't be doing that. I'll just be carrying on. But I'm not entirely certain of what time it is, to be honest with you. But I should make that road this evening, hopefully, and push on a little bit past it if possible. Anyway, once again, guys, well done for sticking with it. Well done for getting to the halfway point. The numbers just going down from here. It's a huge, I was just saying to the two guys back there, for me it's a huge kind of like mental point that you've reached the halfway point, and now you can kind of see the effects you're having on the total miles. You can see them reducing, and it's not just like a huge number that doesn't seem to go down anymore. I am now closer to Canada than I am to Mexico, and that is, I just got a little chill saying that. I can feel it. That is a huge thing. So yeah, I'm gonna hopefully go to sleep a happy bunny tonight. And I'm sorry I didn't get a great deal of footage at the midpoint, but I'll pop the video, the photographs up on the screen, and you can see me being really cheesy and grinning in there. Thanks once again, guys, and there'll probably be a little bit more filming today before I go to sleep. Alright folks, it is 7 p.m. and I'm at mile 1332.9, which is just crossed the road where you hitch into Chester. I've just been hiking the last 5 miles with a girl called Bluebird. She'd injured her foot, twisted it on some sandy, like a sandy section of trail. So I just kind of hiked with her down to the road. She's going to hitch into Chester to see her husband. Her husband's meeting her there. I asked if she wanted me to wait around with her. I don't think she was too keen on getting a hitch on her own, but she said no, she'll wait for someone else or call a train angel. I'm just about a little over 30 miles for the day, I believe. Maybe about 31.5. There is a spring in about 3.5 miles. But I could camp now. I've got, how much have I got? I've got like 1.5 litres of water with me, so I've got enough to see me to tomorrow morning if the spring's that close. So basically I could camp in this section here, although it's looking a little dubious. I wonder if I'm going to be better going up onto the ridge at the top there that you're looking at. If the trail goes up there, I might just have a look at the elevation chart. There's a lot of burnt trees here. So I ran into a few problems as per usual. Because the area I was walking through had been logged, there's no flat spots anywhere. The ground is like really, really uneven where it's been torn up by machinery, and there's just debris everywhere, branches and bits of tree and stuff. I couldn't find anywhere to camp. Had a quick look for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then you come through this next piece that I'm on at the moment, and it's basically all burnt trees, and these, well, they're not here at the moment, but they have been for the last, oh, here we go. These things, whitethorn bushes, and they are literally tearing my shins to shreds. I skinned one of my shins earlier, about 6 miles ago. And it's quite painful, it's drawn blood. And basically it's right at the bottom of my shin. So every time I go past one of these whitethorn bushes, it's just scraping into the open skin. It really stings and hurts. So I've really got no choice. I just need to keep walking until I can find somewhere I can sleep. That's pretty much what's happening at the moment. Well, as you can probably tell, I've left it to the last minute again. This is pretty much the only flat spot in this entire forest. And believe me, I've looked. There's no kind of burnt trees in very close proximity. There's a couple of these big trees that are dropping pine cones or fir cones, but I'm kind of in between two. I think I'm kind of out of the firing line for the most part. I'm right next to a dirt road just there. You might be able to see like the light coloured dirt road just there. I've run out of options basically, as usual. So this is going to do me. The tent's been put up quite nicely actually. It's nice and taut this time. So hopefully the ground is ridiculously hard and dry. It's not really stony, it's just really, really hard and parched. They've had to like hammer the stakes in really, really hard with a stone. Quite a creepy look I've got going on there. Just a quick note, it is 9:30 p.m. And I forgot to say where I was. Mile 1337.1 or thereabouts. I am slightly off the PCT to find this camp spot because I was tired of getting my shins torn to shreds by those thorns. But that's the reason why. So that's put me exactly a 35-mile day today, which nice way to celebrate 100 days on trail, isn't it? 35 miles. I've got to admit, I was pretty slow this morning with that fall and the pain. And when I hit the midway point, I had a couple of painkillers. And then from there on out, most of it was downhill. And that helped a heck of a lot. I absolutely flew down the downhill from there. But there'd been 7 miles, I think, of uphill. It wasn't steep, but it was steep enough when your leg hurts. Leading up to the midpoint, and I think that definitely slowed me down. And this morning as well. So 35 miles, very pleased. I'm on track to get to Burney on Thursday, as I was hoping for. So just need a couple more decent days, Tuesday and Wednesday, and all should be well. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, and good night.